I read an article called Six Reasons Young Christians Leave Church. The research was conducted by the Barna Group, a research organization focused on the intersection of faith and culture. The research purposed to identify why young adults who once sought to relate to their faith were turned away and offer suggestions as to how the church can once again relate to them. The study focused on those who were regular churchgoers during their teen years. I wanted to find answers on my own, so I met up with some friends.
Yeah, I went to church as a teenager.
I did go to church as a teenager. I mean, my family was Christian. Pretty much, we were in a Catholic church, so it was kind of like you kind of had to go.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did grow up in the church.
According to the article, nearly 3 out of 5, or 59%, of young Christians permanently or for an extended period of time disconnect from church life.
I went to school and I was finally away from my parents.
Why? Mainly because I thought the church was a scam, it was like a business. Like all they cared about was the money, and they didn't care about the people.
I didn't really care or understand God, so that's why I stopped going.
What was the purpose? I didn't know God at that point. I was like, it's pretty much just like you go to church and it seems like optional almost. It's like I didn't really feel like there was a need.
There is no one dominant reason as to why young adults left the church. However, research uncovered that there are about 6 major themes that contributed to the departure of young adults from the church. The article suggests that we need to turn towards connection. We need to bring together the young adults in the church. But how?
And so I actually experienced who God was. I actually came to know who Jesus really is.
I met somebody who told me about God, and I could see the joy on them. So after that, I was curious.
Pretty much I came to a point in my life where everything was like crashing down at the same time. So I pretty much had no choice, but I was like, I have to go back to God. I have to go back to church. There has to be something there for me,
In college, I went through a lot, and the only person I could turn to was God.
The study suggests that some leaders ignore the issues of teens and 20-somethings because they feel that the disconnection will end when young adults are older and have their own children. Yet this response misses the dramatic technological, social, and spiritual changes that have occurred over the last 25 years and ignores the significant present-day challenges these young adults are facing. My friends have been on both sides of the spectrum, so I asked them what they think the church could do to connect with young adults today.
I think that how you draw young people in is by letting them know, despite the way you dress or what you're doing with your life, that there's someone, Jesus Christ, who cares about you, and he'll change all that. You don't have to primp up just so he can accept you.
I feel like the churches I go to, it's like a lot of the leadership is all elderly people, and it's kind of like I think that's really what discourages a lot of people, because it's like you have to be old and mature to go to church. So I feel like if we really dumb it down, relax it a bit, not dumb it down, but really just be real. Like Jesus wasn't always like he was relaxed. He had fun with his disciples. Really, I guess more outreach, more some way to connect really, I guess, with this generation.
Let's talk about the real issues like sex, drugs, depression, fornication, all of that.
I believe that the church will go back to more demonstration, not just speaking about the gospel and not just talking about love, but doing love in action, that it'll create a culture where people of all ages will go back to the church.
No place I would rather be. No place I would rather be. No place I would rather be than here